Well, hello, you are hiking with Jenny. This is day 2 on the Foothills Trail, and if you're just tuning in, I am currently doing a yo-yo of the Foothills Trail, which is basically an out and back of the open part of the Foothills Trail. So the first, 31 to 33 miles of the trail is currently open. The second half of the trail is closed due to hurricane damage, and we've got rain forecasted almost every day of the journey. Today, being Saturday, is supposed to be even rainier than yesterday was. We did get a lot of rain last night, so some of my stuff got a little damp, but the important things like my quilts, my hammock, and my camp clothes are pretty much dry, so we're still doing good. I know there was a man who came to camp last night. He got like an inch of water in his tent, and so all his clothes and everything got wet, so I think he's gonna turn around and go back to the parking lot. So I wonder how many people that is going to happen to, that they're just gonna have to stop because stuff got too wet, because like we're supposed to get more rain today and then even more rain tomorrow. So yeah, it's just gonna be wet. The good news is it's gonna be warmer today and tomorrow. I think it's gonna be in the 50s. Well, yesterday was in the 40s, so maybe it won't be as bad being wet. And if we can make it to Monday, Monday's supposed to be nice, sunny, and in the 50s. So holding out hope for that I can be able to dry everything out on that day before I need to fly back home. Today we're going to be doing some more climbing, and Fresh Grounds is meeting us at mile 20, which is 12 miles from here. And he said that he was going to have chicken noodle soup and grilled cheese sandwiches, which sounds amazing. So I'm using that as motivation to at least make it that far today, and then I'll see how I'm feeling and what time it is when I get there, how much more I push from there. So I slept really well last night. I took a melatonin last night at around 8 o'clock because I wanted to get to bed earlier. And sometimes I have trouble sleeping, especially like the first night on trail. And that helped a bunch. I think I was asleep by like 8:30. And then I didn't wake up until 7:30, which is later than I had intended to sleep. But I'm guessing my body needed that. It was 9:15 when I set out. Which, I mean, is kind of typical for me, but was also later than I expected. It's funny, so now that I've learned a little bit about trail building, I understand why they build the trail where they build the trail. Because if you look at it, it's kind of built on the side of the hill, and they do that for water drainage. So rather, like if you were to just build it like down there's all that kind of like, it looks like kind of a ditch. If you were to build the trail through there, while it looks ideal, that's where the water would go, because the water's gonna find whatever is the lowest point, lowest channel, and it's gonna flow through there. Whereas here, if it did rain enough, water's just gonna kind of like come down and hopefully not affect the trail too badly. But I can just picture in my head like what they had to do to build this. Like they had to kind of dig this out. Yeah. And so this is kind of a slope, so that way the water can just flow right off of it. I can just picture in my mind like them building this trail right now. The thought occurred to me though that it's probably a little easier to build a trail down here than it is up north, because you don't see as many rocks. So that was part of the issue with building a trail in New Hampshire, was you were just unearthing tons and tons of rocks. And so you have to flatten it somehow. So you either have to like smash up the rock or remove it and fill it in with gravel or something to make the trail flat. So this morning I was very popular because of my hammock, because the two guys that were there, they were in tents, and after all the rain we got, they were thinking like, oh, I should try a hammock because you probably stayed drier than any of us. And so I was answering all their questions about hammocks and stuff. So that felt really good. And then afterward, one of the guys was asking me like how to put his poncho on. So it was really cool just being the one to like kind of give advice. I just randomly turned around and I saw this. What the heck? It's stuck in there good, but you could get it out. Weird. I'm about 4.5 or 5 miles in for today. Seems to have stopped raining for the most part, which is a welcome surprise. Still doing really well physically. I feel like it's kind of like muscle memory, like this isn't really that challenging for me. I've been able to maintain a pretty good pace, like 2 or more miles an hour. Fast for me. It helps that the terrain has been pretty cruisy. There hasn't been anything too technical. Most of it's just like this. You're kind of walking along a hillside and there's some gradual ups and gradual downs. Sometimes there's little steps. So this is marked picnic spot on the map, and it looks like a pretty good place to take a break. So I'm gonna sit over here and have a snack. Wow, quite a day to kayak. Woo-hoo. That looks crazy. Just spotted this off trail. Looks like maybe it used to be something that you'd like leave a permit in or something, or so they could keep track of who was out here. It's kind of a weird place for it though. I'm gonna take this short spur trail, the King Creek Falls. It's supposed to be worth the side excursion. So I figure go up there, have a little break before continuing on. Wow. Well, that was a nice side excursion. And it's really not raining at all, so I took my poncho off. I just have it sort of dangling on my pack. It seems to have slipped off, but it hasn't rained nearly as much as I was expecting, which is a very good thing. And my feet are still dry, which is like amazing. So I understand the purpose of the pipe, but what's the purpose of the bucket? And the bucket has a hole in it anyway. I don't understand. Someone in the comments.
Embers. Oh, yeah. Right there. Those came out of the box.
Dropped you off in the rain. Is that what it's? I picked them up.
He's gonna leave me out here with no.
4:46. Saying goodbye to people. Getting back on trail. Got like 45 minutes of daylight left. And but you know what? I think there's a campsite in not too long. So I'm gonna try and get to where I can and set up camp. So I got to meet a bunch of people. Stick the Eagle was there, who I never actually met. We watched each other's videos, and then we followed each other on Instagram, and we were chatting back and forth on Instagram like throughout our through hikes, but we never actually met. Cause so he started like 3 days before me, and he was fast, so I never actually caught up with him. So it was really cool to meet Stick the Eagle, and Nichols was there. Nichols I had met once. I don't think he remembers me though. One of the guys from this morning that was at my campsite, he had gotten a ride to here, so he didn't actually hike here. And then there was a couple that I saw last night there. Ramdino was there again. And then there were some other new people. I didn't catch their names though. So there's a lot of people there. So word is a lot of people have either turned around or got picked up and left the park. And there's maybe only 8 people ahead of me because everyone else has pretty much given up. So you just saw Stick the Eagle getting into a car. He's going home. So I don't know if I even know anybody on the trail now, but Fresh Grounds is going to be setting up tomorrow. So I'm hoping to catch him, and then once I've met up with him, I'll probably turn around and start hiking back to my car. We're supposed to get a lot more rain tonight into tomorrow, but I am feeling okay because I know that I have a bunch of dry stuff in my pack liner in my backpack. So as long as that has held up, then I should be good for tonight. And then tomorrow is just going to be a wet mess. And then Monday will be like the day to dry out. So I gotta say, when I saw everybody get into their cars and leave, there's part of that that's tempting. I'm not actually going to be able to finish the Foothills trail. So there's not a whole huge point to continuing, but also, I don't know when I'm gonna come down here again, so I'd like to see as much of it as I can. And also, I feel like now, since Fresh Grounds is gonna be set up tomorrow, I feel like I need to make sure that I'm there for him. So that's kind of holding me accountable to
at least getting to mile 28.3. I'm really actually enjoying this trail too. It's very cruisy. I do think that maybe I would like to come back here in better weather conditions, just because I feel like then I would maybe get some more views that I definitely have not gotten this trip. But I have enjoyed it, and here comes the rain again.
Right, so it is past 5 o'clock now, but I think I'm gonna push another 1.4 to the fish hatchery campsite because it sounds like it's a pretty nice campsite, but that'll put me a little farther up for tomorrow for getting to fresh grounds. So still feeling pretty good, and I think sunset's at 5:30, so I should still get a little bit of time at camp before it gets dark. Right. Don't think that's readable, but this is the fish hatchery campsite, I do believe. Okay, looks decent enough. Should have some easy water access. Places I can hang, for sure. Great. Alright, this is home for tonight.
So, made it to camp, set up my tarp first, and it's a good thing I did that because as soon as I did that, it started raining, and it hasn't stopped. Like, I don't know, it's been like an hour or something. So I'm just hunkered down inside my hammock. I haven't done very many of my camp chores at all. Hoping for a break in the rain so I can do that. Otherwise, I'll just see where I'm at in like an hour. So I'm just killing time watching videos on my phone, hoping that the rain dies down so I can do what I need to do without getting wet. But it's all good. I'm nice and warm in here. It's like 54 degrees, so it's not very cold. And I'm dry, so that's the important thing. So I think this is going to be the end of day 2. See you tomorrow.